All right, family. We live once again. It's on with the general. We here. We dealing with the United States inflicts major damage on Iran in preparation for China. This is most definitely a message being sent to not only China but also Russia. Anybody else out there, Europe too. This is a message being sent out from the imperialist American elite to not only Russia, China, Europe too. You see what I'm saying? That they will not be playing games with nobody. They ain't gonna be playing games with nobody. You gonna fall in line. You see, you gonna fall in line one way or another. And so this is what America is now enacting on the world. It was coming. It was coming. The big boot is coming down on, and so again, it started with Venezuela, went down there, surrounded them. So obviously you could see anytime they send more than 2 or 3 ships, they coming in. That's it. I mean, I'm trying to show you something. Nobody is going to expend that amount of, because you got hot spots all over the planet. You're not going to take ships from all these hot spots and take them somewhere. Especially, you got 12 and 13 ships, major warships. Anytime that many amount of, they coming in. Just know that. So what they telling the world out there, because they told Iran, make the deal. Make the deal, bruh. Make the deal. We're not going to play with you today. Make the deal. You ain't got long. Make the deal. You going to make the deal? Okay, then. You see, make the deal. This is your last attempt. So the thing is, they telling peoples out there. They telling Denmark on Greenland, make the deal. Okay, make the deal. Come up with it. Come on up with it. Canada, make the deal, because you ain't gonna be feeding. Listen to me. He looking at the prime minister of Canada and telling him, you not gonna be feeding the adversary. That's just not gonna happen. So figure it out. Figure out what you want to do. Yeah. I understand that. You say they doomed, but before they be doomed, they're going to take a whole lot of people with them. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they might be doomed, but they're going to take a whole lot of people with them before they go. So you figure that one out. You know what I'm saying? Figure that one out. Yes, they are. But who's to say when the clock gonna click? You know what I'm saying? You got to, so until that finality is realized, you see, you got to deal with the fact that they can, do some things, in some areas and be successful at that. See, this is what's wrong with us. We so philosophical. Yeah. We so philosophical. We come with all the philosophies into that. You in there, nigga? No, sir. No, sir. Did you say these things? No, sir, I didn't say. No, sir, I didn't say that. But we got you on. You sure you didn't? No, sir. No, sir, I didn't say that. Yeah, I think you said. No, sir, I would never talk to you down on you like that. My son, I wouldn't do that until they hit it. You in there? No, sir, I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, they can all take it. You know what? Listen to me. I see two combatants. Okay, people look at Iran. Iran not innocent. Stop it. Just be serious. Iran is not innocent. Now you being, I can't take y'all serious. Iran is not innocent in nothing. It ain't no different than United States. Two imperialistic nations, and here y'all won't catch feelings. Man, go somewhere and sit down, man. Go somewhere and sit down. You don't even need to watch the news because you don't even know what you watching. You don't even know what you're seeing. Iran is just as much an imperialistic power as the United States. Let's be real. They got proxies all over. They beating up on everybody in the area. Okay, everybody. Yeah, we know the Israelis over there. They imperialists too. So what? They are all imperialists. Y'all act like y'all want to they all imperialists. Okay, if you know their history, then you know. Don't come in here and actually, United States the big dog. They the big imperialists of today. But yesterday they wasn't the big imperialist. Britain was the big imperialist. France was the big imperialist. The Netherlands was the big imperialist. Over in the Middle East, Iran was one of the big imperialists. You see, Persia had conquered. You see, they tasted empire. They had seas, land from India all the way up into, you understand, into Egypt, into Africa. And you sitting here and you going to tell me you got a heart for Iran and they came into Africa and committed all type of genocide just like the European. So that's how I know y'all out there don't need to be on no internet talking about nothing. You don't know what you're talking about. Go have a seat. This is not your subject. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, this is not your subject. We just calling it like it is. You see what I'm saying? We just calling it like it is. We not just because we call it like it is don't mean we in agreement with it, because we ain't got no stake in the game which way it go. What stake we got in the game? You see, what stake we ain't got no stake in the game. And so a lot of what's going on in Africa now. You got what's them ISIL, and you got ISIL, and believe me, they funded by Iran. Who talking about that? Nobody talking about that. They over there committing all type of terrorist attacks in Africa, trying to seize Africa. Nobody talking about that. So, but then you want to come in here and hoop and holler, y'all fools. We ain't here about that. We here to tell the truth on what's going on. You see, it's about who gonna rule the world. That's what it is. And if you just step back and at least call it like it is, that means you acknowledging the moves that's being made. So if you one day want to rule the world, then you know the rules to the game. If you don't acknowledge the rules to the game, that's why your ass always on the sideline, philosophical, but ain't never materializing no accomplishments. Where's your accomplishment? You philosophical. They gonna beat up on Iran. That's what they gonna do. That's the bottom line. And they gonna make majority of them, and what they said they was gonna do, they gonna make them fall in line. You see, they making them fall in line now. So you got Iran. They didn't attack nine nations over there in the Middle East: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates. They was trying to stay out of it because they know how that's gonna go in the Islamic world that they ride with, especially the Israelis. You know what I'm saying? Especially the Israeli, you riding with them, so you know how the Islamic world gonna take that, for the other nations. So they tended to, even though they don't give a damn about Iran, because you got the Sunni, you got the Shiite divide, and so they won inside of Islam with the Shia and the Sunni sects. So you got that dynamic. So the reality is, it's Iran and its proxies versus Saudi Arabia and its proxies. You see, so you got that dynamic inside of it, but yet and still, it's supposedly an Islamic world. So they don't want to, even though that's their enemies, they don't want to be looked at as if they sided with the Israelis against Muslims. So they tend to stay out of it in a sense that we ain't going to let you launch, no ships from our land. We don't want you to do that. You're going to have to go somewhere else and do that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You're going to have to go somewhere else and do that. Okay. You're going to have to go somewhere else and do that. But as far as, the attack, they ain't going to say nothing. They ain't going to say nothing because behind closed doors, they look at it that, they jumping on one of they enemies anyway. You know what I'm saying? But for the sake of, being looked at as being a proper Muslim, they don't want to be seen working with the Israelis against Islamic country. You see, so that's really what it is. But at the same time, see, listen to me. They not about to let Iran become the next North Korea because they know one thing about North Korea. North Korea ain't got no ambitions to rule the world. They just want to be left alone. You see what I'm saying? So they got the nuke over there to say, you know what? Y'all not coming in my house. You see, you're not taking North Korea. Okay? If y'all try to do that, we letting them off. You see, so he really ain't got no aspirations to rule the world. He just want to be left alone. Iran has aspirations to where they want to rule the world. So that's something, and they know because they already have been, they proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, you know what I'm saying? All, the group down there in Yemen, and, you got the Yemeni proxies and so they know if Iran get a hold of anything like some nuclear technology, that they could lace all their proxies with something. You see what I'm saying? They could lace their proxies with something. And so they saying, you know what, we're not about to let this happen. We don't know if they could stop them now anyway. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling how far advanced. And so I'm going to tell you this, because you don't know how far advanced they was in any technologies that they were developing. Ain't no telling if Russia, if China, or even North Korea could have helped them to move forward in a nuclear program or not. Are you willing to roll the dice with that? Are you willing to roll the dice with that and find out? Because finding out could be, a dirty bomb or something go off in a major European city, in the United States, anywhere. Are you willing to? So what does that mean? It could be likely that they're going to go in and they're going to put boots on the ground in Iran because you can bomb all day. You see what I'm saying? But if they got, underground facilities and, and they just, and you don't necessarily know where they located and, you could bomb and then they could, and they're going to be really vindictive after that. They're going to be really vindictive. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to be they vindictive now. Really, it's on and popping. Really, ain't no coming back from this. Ain't no really coming back from this. Somebody got to go down. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has got to go down. You didn't win in. Iran is, is a historical nation. They're not going to take that on the chin like that. So if the United States don't go in there and put boots on the ground, and they're going to really have to do Iran, man, they're going to listen. And I don't know if they got the wherewithal to do that, but they're going to have to do Iran like they did Iraq. And that's going to be, and I don't know how that's going to turn out. But if you talking about seeing where it's located, technology from the sky, the satellites, that can only go so far until you have to put some boots on the ground, kick in doors, grab, suspects and make them tell, they're going, and so that's where it's at, family. All I could tell you is that this is the beginning. And from this point on, you can just buckle in, because for the rest of the Donald Trump's presidential term, this is what you about to see. So just get ready. You can sit back and you can, you can be philosophical, but I don't see nobody, nowhere on the planet. And people say United States is doomed. Very well might be doomed, but they might not be doomed within 4 years of Donald Trump. They might be on the earth creating havoc, and anybody else that's, outside of that, frame of reference, just get ready. Just get ready. You see, just get ready, because I don't see anybody at this point in time that is going to see the imperialistic United States elite. Now, you can sit out there and run your mouth, but I tell you, I done told y'all, and I'm back again. I told you so, and I bet you I'll be back again and tell you, I told, not be that I could see what it is. And that's what Sun Tzu say. Don't lie on what you acknowledge what the enemy has and make preparation for it. Don't lie to yourself and say he don't got it. And then you lead your soldiers out there knowing that the man got. See, I can't trust none of y'all. You be real with your soldiers. This is what he have. This and deal with that so you can be victorious. Don't lead your soldiers out on a battlefield talking about what he ain't got, what he can't do. And that's exactly what he do. You lead your soldiers to doom. Give them the truth. Give them the truth. Let them analyze this for what it is. Now that this is like being in a military school. This is, you come into the general's military school, and I'm saying, watch what they do. You see what I'm saying? This is, so study the winner. Don't quit talking about he do. The motherfucker just won. How you telling me he do? It don't look like he doomed to me. Look like he went down. Yeah, if somebody acknowledged his prowess and put up a defense and an offensive that can offset that, other than just talking about you on some damn biblical, philosophical. And when you hear that gong in the sky, dong, it's gonna be over. No. Everything in history is based on strategy, offense, defense, will, logistics. You understand what I'm saying? All of that got to be in play. You ain't just going to philosophically say the man going to fall and that's all it's going to take. No. So family, we're going to be, this is the place to be. If you want it from, this is the place to be. Come on back over, kick it with the general, get mad, but get glad, because you're going to get over here and you're going to get it from no other going to give it to you. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, family. We're going to have a breakdown this evening on Patreon. I want you to come on in, because I know it's going to be too hard for YouTube, and we're going to drop it down. And if you want the Raw, if you want the Naga News Network, then you come on over there to Patreon and get the truth, family. This is General Sarah Soon said. He said, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on the wicked beast, daily liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom, Black Power.